From the Peterson Event Center on the campus of the great University of Pittsburgh inside Pitt Studios, right here it's the Pat Narduzzi Show, award-winning Larry Richard with Panthers head football coach Pat Narduzzi. Coach, it seems like eons ago that you last played, even though it's just 1 week in between, but congrats on a road win in the ACC. Georgia Tech, your team did a tremendous job with a big road win. When you consider 52-21 as the final, that's the way you like it, right?
That's why you like every one of them like that. Our kids came ready to go. It does seem like a long, long time ago, but that's in the past. But our kids did play well. It's worth talking about, and we're moving on to the next. We got a big one coming up this Saturday.
Let's talk about some of the standouts, and we'll go over the player awards in a minute. But Kenny Pickett continues to just be so consistent at a high level. Overall, he has a quarterback rating that's second in the country, and you guys are putting up crazy numbers, 40-plus points, 5 consecutive games. That's never happened. And your average is a national best of 52.4 points per game. Consistency is what a coach likes at a high level.
We've talked about consistency a lot this week. That's kind of the name of the game. And as I said, nobody cares what's happened in the first 5 games or 6 games, whatever it may be. They care about what you do this weekend. I think that's the critical thing is our guys got to be ready to go. We're 1-0 in the conference. They're 1-0. They don't care what happened in Notre Dame, just like we don't care about our one loss. You're worried and focused on the ACC. So, they're sitting there right in the thick of things, and it's a big, big conference game.
And were you surprised at all by just how well the team performed on the road in Atlanta?
Not surprised at all. It doesn't surprise me at all. We played on the road already, so that was not our first game on the road. And when our guys go out and execute, and we don't turn the ball over, we get turnovers, and you're playing fast and having fun. That's what it looks like, and that's what we expect every Saturday. We talk about the physical preparation, but the mental preparation is just as important or more important.
What's interesting is you played noon kickoffs, and now you got a 3:30. That doesn't change much until maybe you get to a night game down the road.
No question about it. The 3:30 just gets them a little bit more rest in the morning. They're not waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning for a 6:50 breakfast, and but our guys are used to the early starts anyway. But 3:30 will be a very easy routine for us, and it sounds like we got the Clemson week the next week, 3:30 again. So it's nice to be on that same routine 2 weeks in a row, and I'm sure we're going to have some 7:30 night games here coming up soon.
Coach, even with the bye, let's go back and talk about the player awards. That's important to them and their families and fans. And then we'll move on to talk to Carter Warren and dig down deep into the weeds on Virginia Tech. So your players of the week in the game against Georgia Tech.
Sure. Players of the week, special teams was Brandon George. He graded out 94%. Plays 18 plays. That's a lot of plays on special teams. So he's playing a lot and playing at a high level and getting a lot of quality snaps on defense as well. Had 3 techniques, and as Coach Powell says, 1 great technique that he had. Defensively, John Patrician. Talk about the pick 6. He had 4 other tackles. TFL. That TD was big time, and that helped us start that game fast.
He's another one that's playing at a different level. The difference between last year and this year, his play, his body style, his just attitude has been terrific.
Yeah, Coach Ryan Manlack's done a great job of developing him. I think he's got a lot of insight in how he played better as far as just his fundamentals and getting it across to him a little bit different. And of course, he got moved. We talked about earlier. In the season, I guess, just not have many snaps there. So he's playing at a high level, and we're just going to continue to get good ball at him. And then, of course, on offense, Kenny Pickett, you've mentioned his stats. 4 TDs, 6 carries, 21 yards, and again, just throwing the ball on a dime everywhere. I mean, his deep balls are so much better than were last year, and I think the timing between him and the receivers are unbelievable. Even today, after pass, Skelly, we had about 30 seconds left. He goes, "I want this one more play, one more time," and it was like, "Choo!" And, it was like, wow. I mean, he wants to get it again. Give it to me one more time.
And he's the first to credit the offensive line has played well, giving him the time to do what he needs to do, and he looks so comfortable back there.
He really is, and that's what he needed to be. There was times in the last couple of years where he was a little hot feet, and he really trusts, that left tackle, Carter Warren, who's protecting his back all day long, and he's so critical. And again, the O-line, the running backs, I'll throw those guys in there as far as just the protection as well because they've done a great job.
Yeah, how much is that? For those that don't know, you know the lines up front, but the backs are so key in keeping everything going.
They really are, because they got to pick up the trash, and whether it's chipping out, on a four-man pressure and just kind of nudging a guy back into Carter or one of the guards, whatever it may be. I mean, it's huge, and they've got to have vision. And a lot of times, if their guy doesn't blitz, they're still able to to clean up something.
Probably hard to pick an offensive lineman of that game that week.
Yeah, there was a lot of good play, but Gabe Hoy continues to play at a high level. He graded out 90% and is just doing a lot of good things. I said it earlier in August and September. The guy's playing at a high level. He's big and strong as he's been. Last year, going into the season, into that COVID season we had, I mean, he was coming off 2 shoulder surgeries. I mean, he got them both done at the same time. He had to eat with his feet. I don't know if you heard that. No, I'm just kidding you. Larry, if you guys
So where's that video?
let's see that video. But I mean, he was not in a good place, and it's hard to get real strong in the off season when you've got double surgery there. So he is feeling. Our doctors, UPMC doctors have done an outstanding job taking care of our kids, and Dr. Volker. So he put him back together, and he's feeling like $1 million.
How about these unsung heroes? These are all names we've heard before, but they continue to contribute to wins.
Yeah, I mean, on special teams with Sam Scarton, he's played well. He kicked a 46-yard field goal, which was big time. He was 7 for 7 on PATs, and used to think those are gimmies, but we know that's not the fact. We've missed some of those early in the year, and he has seemed to clean it up a little bit. And then defense, Servassier Dennis, 6 tackles. He had a big-time sack and a tackle and a half for loss. I mean, he's good, and he's not 100% healthy. He's just kind of, he practices a little bit and goes, and he's just got a great nose for the football.
He's like a heat-seeking missile. It's fun to watch him play.
Yeah, it sure is. And then offense, Tayseer Mack, 4 receptions, 121 yards, had 3 explosive plays, and we know that one big explosive TD that he had. Tayseer is playing, his best year yet, which is what you expect out of your seniors.
And Defensive Attack Force Player of the Week.
Haba Baldonado. I mean, he's made a lot of plays. I know he goes to bed at night wondering, like, he missed 3 sacks. And it's like he missed 3 sacks, and he gives them to other guys and still makes plays. But if he really finished the plays off, which is, again, he's a first-year player getting playing time like a starter, obviously a starter. But in another year he'll be making all those plays, and I think he could end up being like a Rashad Weaver, Patrick Jones type guy.
Yeah, you have 18 sacks for the team, an average of 3.6 per game. That ranks 8th nationally, and Haba is leading the team with 3.5. So he's right in. Now the Rocks Players of the Week. So important to give you the look of the team you're facing.
Yeah, these guys give me chest pains every week because we coach them as hard as we coach our offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, they're so important, to the point where I even, called them out today in the team meeting, just like it needs to be better. The details need to be better. If we can only get 14 plays, 14 is better than 16 sloppy plays. So just the blocking schemes that we need as far as on the offense side of the ball and what we need on defense. We don't need ends, running around blocks and not giving those guys a good look. It's easy to avoid contact sometimes on the defense, and who wants to run into Carter Warren? Nobody does. But we just continue to dig it out of them, and they've worked hard. But special teams was Dylan Bennett, has done a nice job there. On offense, it was Jaden Bradley, receiver that's catching balls in games. He's a high motor. He's going to be a future great player for us. And on defense, Elliot Donald seems to get better. Maybe Carter Warren can tell you who stands up in some of those Rocks defensive linemen, but Elliot Donald continues to improve every week.
Donald, that's a familiar name here at the University of Pittsburgh.
No doubt about it. So I think he's going to be a special player in the future as well.
Those are your players of the week against Georgia Tech. Now we'll turn the page, talk about Virginia Tech on the road this weekend, 3:30 kick. We're on the air on the Pitt Football Radio Network with Pat Bostic, myself, Cale Berger, and Bill Hillgrove with the play-by-play at 1:30. When we come back, we'll introduce you to redshirt senior Carter Warren. You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show, presented by Dollar Energy Fund on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
stick together, attitude and effort all day long, okay? And we go Pitt tough.
Welcome back to the Pat Narduzzi Show inside Pitt Studios at the Peterson Event Center. Larry Richard with head coach Pat Narduzzi and a special guest this week, redshirt senior Carter Warren, who is the left tackle and from Paterson, New Jersey.
Yes, sir. Thank you for inviting me here, man. I appreciate it.
That's coach, you know. You got the call up. This is big, Carter.
Yes,
so
if
you get the call up from the coach on this thing, this is huge.
It's big time, man. Thank you.
And I want to ask you, Kenny Pickett gives a lot of credit to you guys, the offensive line, because as you go, the offense goes.
Yes, sir.
And I hear, is he still doing the dinners?
Yeah, the dinners, man. I wish I could go to them. I got class on Tuesdays, man.
What?
So, yeah, I know I can't go to them all the time, but
Maybe you ought to invite your teacher to it.
yeah, we could do that. But
So
yeah.
Kenny Pickett is part of this NIL thing that everybody's kind of discovering where it's going, who knows, but he chose, and a lot of credit to him,
Yes, sir.
was to take the offensive line to the Oaklander here in the footprint of the University of Pittsburgh. So you didn't get to go to any of these
No,
yet?
I've been to a few of them,
Okay.
but
What's your go-to?
I do the burger, man. The burgers are delicious with the French fries, man. They got this little aioli sauce they have, man. Oh, it's to die for, man. But
What about steak?
nah, no steak for me, man. I get a nice burger. That's
Okay.
it. Uh-huh.
Simple guy?
Simple guy, man. That's it.
Who eats the most?
I say Marcus Minor. Yeah, he like to throw
I
down.
can see
man.
that.
Yeah,
He does.
Yeah, big dude, but he like to throw down, man. Like to eat. We all like to eat.
What's the best thing about playing for the University of Pittsburgh?
Just being around the guys, you know. I'm around a great group of guys right now, man. The Hogs, we mesh, man. We get together, and it's a great outcome, you know. So
And for those that don't know, there are real subtleties. It's not just brute force. Certainly strength is part of it, but there are, intricacies to play in the line, right? Especially when you're blocking the quarterback's blind side. You got to keep him looking good.
most definitely, man, all the time, man. So
And I would imagine that, when you're in the midst of the game, does it ever surprise you at this point watching Kenny Pickett play?
no, really, it's not a surprise to me, man. The guy puts the work in. Kenny Pickett puts the work in, and I've seen what he's done, and I know what he could do, and I'm not surprised at all.
And in preparation for the game, so facing Virginia Tech on the road, now that you've had 2 road games, 2 road wins, loud crowds, especially in Tennessee, doesn't intimidate you, I would imagine, because it's going to be loud
No, most
in
definitely.
Blacksburg.
Yes, sir.
So I assume you watched the game with Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Loud game, but we're gonna be good, man. We're gonna hang in there.
What's the best way to quiet a crowd?
Man, scoring touchdowns.
That's
Yes,
right,
sir.
Coach?
No question about it.
How the University of Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh area you've adapted over the years. You seem like you're real comfortable here.
Yes, I
What's
am,
the
man.
best thing about Pittsburgh?
The best thing about Pittsburgh is, man, the people. You know what I mean? The fans around here, they're amazing. You know what I mean? I can't ask for better fans. So
And as far as studies, you beyond football, and I know we'll see where it goes, but a lot of your players, Coach, want to play on Sundays naturally, and the University of Pittsburgh has pumped a lot of talent into the NFL over the years. But beyond that, what would you like to do?
honestly, so I have my degree in administration of justice. I'm looking to do law enforcement after, juvenile probation, in that area. So yeah.
So let's talk about some football. You watched the game with Notre Dame, Virginia Tech. Just watching as a fan, you're looking a little deeper, but who jumped off the page on defense, you thought?
Oh, it was number 11. By far, he's their best defensive end. He stood out in spin moves, all kinds of moves on everybody. So he's definitely their best player.
But what was your takeaway overall of what Virginia Tech? Because they're a pretty good football team. They're 3-2, 1-0 in the ACC.
Definitely, they're a really good team. Honestly, they're up front. They're really strong. I feel like their defensive tackles, they really stood out to me on that field, and it's gonna be a good game, man. I'm excited.
How much talk is there when you're right there?
Yes,
Boom. That guy's like 8 inches from your face
Mhm.
sometimes. You guys ever exchange pleasantries?
Nah, I don't talk much, man. I'm locked in on what I got to do, and that's it, man. But I don't talk junk. Maybe Owen Drexel does, man. I don't know. Yes,
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
That's a for sure. It sounds like Owen.
Well, Owen, by the way, he's the featured 10 questions with Cale Berger for our pregame, and talked to him yesterday, Coach. He has that smile, and correct me if I'm wrong, Carter, that makes you wonder what he's up to. He's got that little, we call it the Cheshire Cat smile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's on for you, man. I've been living with him for 4 years now, man.
Music. Coach and I are,
Old.
well, I wasn't going to classify it that way, but
Yes, sir.
what are your go-to songs?
Go-to songs. So I don't got no songs specifically, but my two favorite artists right now is The Weeknd and Rod Wave. Rod Wave actually came to Pittsburgh not too long ago, so yeah.
I'm a little old school,
Uh-huh.
Big Papa,
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
Good stuff, man.
You want me to
Oh,
give you a little?
if you want, man, do your thing.
I love it when you call me Big
Pop.
Papa.
Put your hands in the air if you's a true player. Oh, my God.
That's tremendous.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Coach, you didn't expect that,
I
did
did
you?
not expect it. And I don't know that song either.
Oh, come on.
You guys are.
Put your hand up on my hip when I dip, you dip, we
Oh,
dip. No, you don't know that one
I
either?
know that one. I know.
Coach hasn't actually seen a movie all the way through in his entire marriage, so he's focused on every. He's getting you guys prepared.
Come on.
What's your favorite movie, Coach?
Oh man. I guess the last movie maybe was Rocky 5 or something. I don't get to watch movies. You know when I don't get to watch movies is a 7:30 road game and we go to a movie as a team.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That's my movie.
Let me ask you this, Coach. What's on my mind? Who's your get-back coach on the sidelines?
Coach Stack and the strength staff.
Right. Yeah.
Are they doing a good job?
Oh yeah, they're grabbing you by the belt.
Is that right?
Coach
I
looks
never
like
even
he's
feel it.
skiing, like he's well
You
out
bet.
over his skis. He pulled them back. Well, we appreciate you coming in. Good luck against the Hokies and Virginia Tech, and it's great to spend some time with you, Carter.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, Larry.
Looking forward to a bright future.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, left tackle, redshirt senior Carter Warren, and we'll come back. Pat Bostic's going to join us. We'll talk a little X's and O's as we break down Virginia Tech. You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show, presented by Dollar Energy Fund on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
Keep your eyes on number 8. He is playing exceptional football.
Jordan Addison has been as advertised, worth the price of admission.
This Pitt front, they are live and they are humming.
Pitt, Clemson, October 23rd. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPanthers.com.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Being home.
You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show, and every week at this time we introduce former Pitt quarterback and associate athletic director of Major Gifts, now in a sport coat. You can't see him on the radio, but Pat Bostic is all dressed up and ready to go. Patrick?
How are you? Good to see you guys.
And Pat, Coach was talking about, and you kind of forget last year, there were a couple of games, including the game against Virginia Tech, where because of COVID protocols, you were missing a lot of guys. I mean, there were games where we'd wait right up until almost kickoff, right, to get that list.
I think we had 3 new starters on the offensive line against Virginia Tech last year and went out and hung 45 on them, so it was impressive.
Before we get into Virginia Tech, though, I want to mention one other thing. One of your captains, long snapper Cal Adamitis from Central Catholic, did a really great thing for children battling cancer, Cal's kids. So kudos, Coach, to your players who make that kind of choice.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Cal is a tremendous leader on the field and off the field, and for him to think about doing that and putting it all together with Celeste, I know has been, and EJ's helped out a ton just to get that thing done. And again, if you're out there, if you guys want to, give to the Cal's kids, I think it's a great idea. I've given, a lot of our players on our team have given, and I think he's trying to raise $94,000, and I think he's, almost to 50 right now, and
he's going to make it.
He's going to make it one way or another. He's going to make it.
Well, here's the deal. So if he gets to 94, which is his number, then he has this long flowing hair. Maybe
Beautiful
you saw him
hair.
on TV this week. Yeah, he looks like
Beautiful.
Who was that guy? Fabio. Remember that?
You would know. I don't know. Fabio?
You guys got to get out more. Come on, man. So he's gonna cut his hair if he gets a match for that, right?
No doubt.
I think he was halfway through, 4 days in. So, I mean, he's got a lot of power behind that.
Well, that's credit to him, to the university, and you, Coach, too. Let's talk about Virginia Tech. I assume you watched the game in real time, not just the cut-ups, Pat?
Yeah, I did. I watched a lot of it. The Notre Dame game, it was good football game, physical, some turnovers that ultimately, I think decided the game and gave Virginia Tech a chance to win, and just couldn't pull it out at home. A lot of injuries, got a little banged up in that game, but Notre Dame I thought was fortunate to get out of there with a win, and I'm sure Tech will be an angry football team this week.
And let's talk about their quarterback. He's fast. He's definitely a dual threat, right, Coach?
There's no question. I mean, he'll beat you with his feet before he will beat you with his arm. He can run. He drops back. If his first read's not there, he takes off and has beat a lot of people with his feet.
Yeah, he's got a shoulder injury, so got nicked up in the game. I know, Coach, you expect him to be full strength, and so do I. He went back in that game and made some plays late. But it'll be interesting to see how they manage a quarterback situation. They played number 4, Blumrick, a little bit in the game, and then he got hurt and supposedly is out. So with a quarterback with a nicked up shoulder, a true freshman, that's your third guy that hasn't played much of at all year long, how much do you run a guy, a design run-wise? And it'll be interesting. They run some of that power read where the quarterback can pull it and run it. And he likes to make plays with his feet, so it'll be interesting how close to the vest they play offensively. But there's no question he can break contain in a heartbeat and extend plays, and they got some good wideouts.
And I know they utilize a lot of their backs, so seemed like everybody got touches against Notre Dame. Raheem Blackshear, Jalen Holston, Keyshawn King, all pretty good talent.
Yeah, they've got good skill players. I mean, they'll get the ball in Turner and Robinson's hands on jet sweeps and screens, and I'm sure they're going to want to get the ball out of Braxton's hands quick when they throw it. And they got playmakers in space, and you'll be one-on-one out there trying to stop the run. So got to tackle in space. Notre Dame missed some tackles in that game that led to some bigger plays, and obviously that's going to be a key in this game. They hit a screen, I think, against us 2 years ago down there. So those are critical plays that are safe calls for Tech. So and get the ball out of Burmeister's hands and out of harm's way.
Here's what you need to know about Virginia Tech, brought to you by PNC Bank. Make today the day. So, Pat Bostic, your analysis, your scouting report on the Hokies.
Defensively, they get after you a little bit. I mean, up front, and they try to get after the quarterback. I'll be interested to see how they play. They play more nickel against us with number 1 out there. I expect to probably see him over Jordan Addison. I'm not sure if they respect if we can run the football, but I liked what I saw against Georgia Tech, so that's a great way to get the crowd out of it. They play a little bit of that too deep. They got Notre Dame twice on kind of slice corners, just sitting out there. One was a pick 6 backside, and the kid dropped one front side. Number 27 dropped one. So they mix coverage up a little bit more than maybe they used to. A lot less man-free maybe than they did a year ago. But it'll be interesting. Obviously, Pitt's playing at a very high level offensively, and be curious to see how the Hokies man up, because I'm not sure that man-free is the right decision against some of these wideouts and how Pickett's playing. But to see if they try to come after him or drop 7 and see what they can do. It'll be an interesting cat and mouse game. They've been very good on third down, so you get to third down. That's when they've been very good, top of the league. And they've gotten after the quarterback a little bit, so I'm sure they're dialing some things up maybe that we haven't seen, and it'll be interesting to see how the Panthers handle it.
And playing in a loud, they have 65,000 people. You saw they can make it pretty loud. The stands are tied up, but you've had 2 road wins in hostile conditions. That has to help confidence too, right, Coach?
No question about it. Our guys will be ready for that. And I think the one thing, going back to their defense, the one thing that also stands out is Max Hollifield, their middle linebackers, out for the first half of the targeting call, and he's their computer middle linebacker. He gets everybody lined up. I think that will be a critical thing in the first half to see, what their replacement is there for that. Whether it's the Dean Ferguson kid that came in last week. I think they could move Artis in there as well, but neither one of them have very many snaps on them. You don't see much tape on them, so that's going to be critical.
Well, especially if you tempo a little bit, if you go up to how do you get lined up, right? And that's the key. Even watching last year's game, there were some times when they were dragging a little bit to get lined up. Just watching even the TV copy of last year's game, so it'll be interesting. That is a key component of it. I remember thinking that watching the Notre Dame game, like, wow, he's going to be out for the first half. He's their guy in the middle. It's like the kid for Clemson. Big deal. Having that kid in the middle, he's played there for 3 years, and good player.
And I think fans might be interested to know how important. There are calls on defense. Some fans might not understand that changes.
No, they just line up and play. Come on, it's reactive.
Yeah.
It's not that way, though.
No, it's not.
Unlike you see a quarterback and you know that the center, everybody has a role, but on defense, who's that guy for you?
it's, really Savassier does a great job. Wendell Davis has done an outstanding job as well. We've got a few mics. I mean, Chase Pine can go out there and lead. We've got a few guys that can make all those calls. Brandon George can make it. So we've got guys that make those calls, but this guy's played a ton of football. He's a captain, and he'll be missing in the first half.
That's what you need to know about Virginia Tech. Brought to you by PNC. Make today the day. Pat Bostic will be on the air at 1:30 from Blacksburg, Virginia, with our pregame show. Always appreciate your input. Thanks, partner.
We'll see you.
Some final thoughts when we return. You're listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show, presented by Dollar Energy Fund on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.
Keep calm. Woo, 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 woo. And Terry on.
Are you paying attention?
No, I'm admiring my gun.
The Bradshaws are taking the field for a new season. The fun has begun.
Let the games begin!
And the whole family is bringing their A-game.
Happy. You got it.
Okay, thanks.
Focus.
An all-new season of The Bradshaw Bunch premieres October 6th on E! And stream all of last season on Peacock.
Larry Richard with head coach Pat Narduzzi. The Panthers against the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Saturday, 3:30 kickoff. And, Coach, I'm sure you guys are looking forward to get back to action, but also enjoyed a little rest for the players. That came at a good time.
Yeah, it's a little rest, for the players and the coaches, for that matter. I mean, it's a long run from August, so just trying to give them get them out of the office by 7:30, 8 o'clock at night is a refreshing thing for them, and then it goes all the way into January. So that's the plan.
Any concerns about having a week off, and because you had it rolling there at Georgia Tech, and you want to keep that high-level consistency going?
I could sit here and worry all week, and it won't really matter. We got to make that not a concern. I think our kids are good. We've had 2 good practices. We'll have another one tomorrow, and our guys will be ready to go. And
Virginia Tech, up until last weekend, they were 5-0 at home under their quarterback Braxton Burmeister, and they've got a lot of talent, as the ACC is very competitive on any given Saturday.
It really is, and as I told our kids this afternoon after practice, hey, they're 1-0. They put Notre Dame away, and this is a big game for them. They got a chance to bounce back, and we get a chance to go get number 2.
The rest of the way, it's all ACC action, so each and every game is so huge.
No question about it, and there's a lot of games left in the ACC, and each one of them are important.
How anxious are you to get going?
Real anxious. We're ready to go right now. That plane can't leave fast enough, and let's get down there and get to business.
And looking forward to it. Well, Coach, good luck against the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Thanks, Larry. Appreciate it.
And we'll be on the air again at 1:30 with our pregame show on the Panthers Radio Network with Bill Hillgrove, Pat Bostic, and Cale Berger. And we want to thank our executive producer, PJ Kamachick, Amanda Soleil producing here at the Pete, Cale Berger back at Master Control, plus his game day contributions. Pitt's Paul Bartow and his team do an outstanding job with all their productions. And a special thanks, as always, to Executive Associate Athletic Director, Media Relations, E.J. Borghetti. Without him, we couldn't do our job. Pitt Beyond the Script, Saturday, AT&T Sportsnet at 10:30 a.m. And the Pat Narduzzi Radio Show on television. That will air Friday at 4:30 and Saturday morning at 10. And we appreciate you joining us. And then after that, it's 2 home games back-to-back. Make sure you get your Pitt Panthers tickets for Clemson. A 3:30 kickoff at Heinz Field a week from Saturday. Then the Hurricanes come to town. You've been listening to the Pat Narduzzi Show, presented by Dollar Energy Fund on the Pitt Panthers Radio Network.